Cholesterol is backbone of our cellular health, and it is vital for various cellular processes. Cholesterol is required to make vitamin D, to make bile acid, to make sex hormones such as testosterone and estrogen. Cholesterol is also required to maintain the structure and fluidity of our cell membrane. It allows our cells to sense the extracellular matrix, to activate certain genes, proteins to produce nitric oxide, to stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, and number of these functions, right? And we get cholesterol from our diet, and our body also makes cholesterol, right? However, healthcare practitioners and fitness folks who are too much focused on reducing your cholesterol below 200 is really a bad decision, a bad idea, right? So when you do not have cholesterol, you cannot make testosterone, you cannot make vitamin D, and we all know that vitamin D deficiency is a growing, epidemic. And low testosterone, could directly impact mitochondrial biogenesis, as testosterone is required to stimulate PGC1 alpha, to trigger mitochondrial biogenesis, to regulate energy metabolism, to regulate fatty acid oxidation, to actually even impact your brain and cognitive health, right? And when there is low cholesterol, our cells cannot sense the extracellular matrix. It cannot produce nitric oxide, and this leads to vasoconstriction. This leads to high blood pressure and increased risk for type 2 diabetes and even, cardiovascular diseases. So, reducing cholesterol to 100 is the worst advice you can get, right? So do not reduce your cholesterol. Cholesterol is really important for your biology, right? And if you have a high cholesterol, if you have a high LDL, probably you should look at you should test your oxidized LDL, which is a more relevant biomarker, which indicates the inflammation, which could indicate, the risk of, plaque deposition, plaque rupture, and increased risk of heart disease. So what you really need to consider is that you should not reduce your cholesterol. You should focus on, having sufficient ability of your body to produce nitric oxide. You should focus on, measuring your oxidized LDL, which is a relevant biomarker for cardiovascular health, right? This is very important. So do not reduce your cholesterol below 200.